Welcome back my friends to my channel once again. Today we discuss figure counting square type 2. In previous videos rectangle we discussed similar type of figures, row and column related figures. Okay, so if you clearly see the picture that you can see 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So row and column, here row is equal to number of row is equal to number of column. We already discussed about what is row and what is column. Okay, but in rectangle how we calculate the total number of rectangles when the number of row is equal to number of columns? We just write down the numbers and calculate the cube of that particular number. Okay, but in square we have to just write down the number of rows and number of columns, and calculate the squares of the numbers. So 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. So 1, 4, 9, 16. So 16, 25, 20, 30. Total number of square in this figure is 30. What is the trick? Unlike rectangle, just first write down the number of rows and write down the number of rows and columns. Then calculate the squares of each individual number and step 3, finally add them. Okay, so according to this rule we have to find out the number of squares in that figure. So here the number of column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number of rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the field of square, when the number of rows is equal to number of column, then we have to calculate the squares of that numbers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Total number of squares in that figure is 55. So in the field of rectangle, when the number of column is equal to number of rows, then we have just write the number of columns and number of rows and then calculate the cube of each individual number. But in square, first similarly we have to write the number of rows and number of columns, and when we see that